Hi, all. I am Coach Keon Smith from Action Coach Guyana. We are also the license holder of the Who's Who in Guyana Business Directory. Very, very informative business directory that not only provides you with key contacts for very, very important persons in business in our country, but also provides you with critical industry information that you can use to help you in your decision making or get a better understanding of some of our industries and our sectors here in Guyana. We are continuing our interview series as we speak with dynamic and innovative business leaders here in Guyana, whether it's entrepreneurs, CEOs, or team representatives. And today I have the pleasure of having a conversation with Mr. Raj Singh. Now, I'm going to allow Mr. Singh to tell you a little bit about himself very shortly, and we will have our usual conversation. We are locked into our social media platforms, and we love it when you guys like, love, and of course share our videos as being a part of joining our mission. So, without any further delay, please welcome Mr. Raj Singh from Raj Singh Insurance Brokers and Investment Company. Mr. Singh, pleasant good afternoon. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to yourself and all our viewers. Um, I'd like to welcome the audience and say thank you for conducting such an interview for myself and other industry leaders around Guyana. I think it's a very innovative and a great initiative by Action Coach, and I'd like to compliment you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr.
Firstly,
Singh.
we are presently I'm in Florida. Having been locked down since whenever it was in March, I think it
Yeah.
was, and Guyana being locked, their airports being locked away from any visitor or any citizen to travel to and from Guyana. So it has been a long and arduous stay away from Guyana.
Uh,
Anyway, what I can tell you is that I have been in insurance for like about 37 years.
yeah.
Actually, this month, May 2020, is exactly 37 years that I've been in the insurance industry.
Wow.
Started on the 1st of June, um, 1983. So this at the end of this week is going to be my completion of 37 years in the industry.
Wow.
Um, Most persons would know that I've expanded my business operations in Guyana. I've studied a lot over the years that I've been employed during my career. I started studying late in the 80s when foreign currency was very tough to get, and I was able to access funds through various sources overseas to get my examinations done through London. I studied the FCII and qualified, the CPCU, and the ARM, Associate and Risk Management, for those of you who may not be familiar with that designation.
Yeah.
I am now a chartered insurance practitioner, and I started Raj Singh Insurance Brokers in 1999. So that also is just about 21 years ago. And we've grown by leaps and bounds over the years. We're the only broker in Guyana that has. We started with branches, but then we formed them as franchises, which gives other industry leaders in other parts of the country to, to, to start and build on a brand that is existent. Raj
Yeah.
Singh Insurance Brokers has been around for a long time. So we have three franchises, one in Rosignol, one in Corriverton, and the other one in Diamond, headed by Tarika McCrae. The one in Rosignol is headed by Devan Kemraj. He owns both the franchises in Rosignol and Corriverton.
Nice.
So our operations has been streamed. So we wanted to reach out more towards the general insurance public rather than everything being centered in Georgetown. So we have plans to expand our franchise system around the country in due course. At the
Excellent.
appropriate time, we will be doing that.
Sure, Mr. Singh. And on the note of, first of all, congratulations uh, for being, well, first going to be celebrating 37 years in the insurance industry. Um, that's longer than relationships, probably older than a lot of persons who might even be viewing this particular broadcast today. And of course, additionally, congratulations for being 21 years in business. As you indicated, you started operations in 1999. So that's really, really commendable stats that you have provided with us. Now, I just want to get a bit of an understanding, Mrs. Singh, with regards to what are some of the insurance products, as I've heard the term used before. What are some of the insurance products and or services that Raj Singh offers?
Okay, thanks for asking that, Keon. Um, Quickly, let me just mention also, I have expanded my operations out of the country also, in that I also have an insurance operations in Florida, in Orlando area.
Mhm.
So my insurance, there's a lot of Guyanese and West Indians in the US, so I do a lot of insurances over here also.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the products, I've been, um, we offer all types of insurances. In Guyana, we offer both personal and commercial lines. We like to look at niche markets, and one of the big niche markets that we got involved in was the marine insurance market. Um, Ever since we started Raj Singh Insurance Brokers, and we are probably the leading marine insurance broker in Guyana, since we deal with most of the insurances for the vessels and cargo and P&I and hull and machinery. We're also very well versed in the aviation sector. So we've got great contacts in the local and foreign marketplace. So we're able to offer everything that is available locally. We are all appointed by we are appointed by all of the local insurance carriers. Likewise, all the brokers are appointed with them.
Yeah.
And it's a different kettle of fish in the US as against Guyana,
Yeah.
because in the US it's not so easy to get appointments by carriers. So the Guyanese brokers should consider themselves. I mean, there's not a whole lot of carriers in Guyana, and the few that there are, they want to capitalize on the quality businesses and accounts that comes from brokers.
Yes.
So we have been able to offer, as I said, both personal and commercial lines. So we cater for both the retail and the wholesale markets in Guyana.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And it's really good to hear the range of services, and of course, as you mentioned, your ability to identify and, of course, seek the opportunities in the niche markets, for example, marine, as you mentioned. Now, Mr. Singh, COVID 19 is here, and you are currently an example of some of the impacts of COVID 19 because you've been stuck in Florida, as you mentioned, since March. Overall, how has COVID-19 affected your operations, and what were or is some or are sorry some of the strategies you have implemented to deal with this?
Okay, Kian, good question. COVID has made everybody in the world stand up and make some serious decisions. Um, it was tougher being a business person, um, even tougher being away from your business in Guyana and to implement certain measures. But I'm thankful that we have very good management and staff in Guyana, that we were able to institute certain measures. What we did, we thought about it very long and hard. We looked at what certain companies were doing, and we discussed it. I discussed it with my managers and other officers, and we decided that it was not a good idea to really just stop working, like at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. and have your full complement of staff working. So what we initially started to do is to send off our staff. I think that was in early April when the lockdown by the government was announced. We sent off 50% of our staff on leave. Part of it was their annual leave, and part of it was paid by the company.
Yeah.
So that in effect, that did, it served as a quarantine because it was for a 2 week period. So
Yeah.
those that went off who had the opportunity to do their quarantine session during that period, because everybody was concerned. You know,
Yeah.
when you the fear of the unknown is very, very, wholesome at those times. So we sent off them, and then the other 2 weeks. So at the end, no point of time we've been operating on a skeleton framework in our office, so that just 50% of the persons are there, and
Yeah.
so that social distancing aspect of the COVID was complied with, in its entirety throughout up to now, right? Because what we've been doing, the other 50% of the staff went off on leave. Then we looked at persons who still had annual leave outstanding. We've been sending them off. So far, I'm hopeful that we could start full operations probably by next week, when June the 3rd, when the ban, I'm thinking, maybe lifted. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
So that's it for the staff operation. We've been sanitizing our office every single day. All right. Customers, we only allow two customers at a time in our office, and we are not a high intensity, high traffic customer operation. We may have like about 3 or 4 persons the most come into our office at any one time.
Yeah.
And what we never allowed more than 1 or 2 persons inside of the office itself. Everybody is required, compulsory, to have a mask. Both the staff and the customers were required to do so. Hand sanitizers are available for them to use as soon as they enter the office. And when they leave, whenever they leave, we sanitize the counter. And there's a spray also that we use. I think DDL produced that spray. So we've been complying. We've been taking this situation very, very seriously. What we've been doing also to avoid persons from having to come to our office, in terms of payments, we've been using the MMG and bank transfers, so that persons could pay the premiums at through the MMG services,
Yeah.
through bank transfers to our account, and also having them go probably directly to insurance companies' branches in their areas rather than
Yeah.
coming down to Georgetown. So that has assisted a whole lot. And we've been doing a lot of WhatsApp and email of documents. So those actions have pretty much kept our customer visits to a minimum. All right, into the office, and I'm sure it played a great part in ensuring that our compliance, Raj Singh Insurance Brokers compliance with the requirements of COVID-19 task force and all other requirements put out there, um, to be in compliance and to keep our cases down in the country and infections and deaths.
Yeah.
So those are the measures we've been putting in place over the past 3 months.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Singh. It's very, very comprehensive. What I love is just maintaining the safety of the team members, and of course, by sanitizing the environment and ensuring that the team members are protected as well. Just as we are coming down to the end of this discussion, what advice, Mrs. Singh, would you offer to individuals out there and even fellow business owners, executives, even your team?
It's um, it's not over as yet. I mean, we've I've not really seen whether the Guyana. I don't know how the reporting mechanism, how accurate the reporting mechanism is in Guyana in terms of cases. I think Guyana has done a splendid job in just keeping their cases to a little bit over 100, and deaths I think was just about 10. So That has been a very good initiative by the country, and I'd like persons to continue with the social distancing, which I think plays a great part in avoiding contagion. All right, so I'd
Yeah.
like to advise persons to continue with the limited groupings that has been recommended, and in order to keep safe, do whatever is recommended. Keep washing your hands. Very simple and basic stuff. Keep your surroundings clean. Ensure the older ones around you. Ensure they adapt and keep them away from large groups. So those are
Yeah.
the basic stuff that we all need to continue doing until we know that a vaccine is available, whereby we could relax a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
So it should be a easy. It should be or going back to normal life should be staggered. It shouldn't be, taken as granted that we're over this patch. We
Yeah.
still need to be extremely careful. And for those persons who are those age groups and persons which are most vulnerable need to take the extra precautions.
Yeah. Definitely, dog was great instructions, suggestions rather, Mr. Singh, to the persons who are listening or tuned in on our social media platform. So, just finally, persons who are listening, they're hearing great information about Raj Singh's insurance. Can you tell us how to make contact with you or to learn more about what you offer?
The easiest way to get hold of us, visit our website. We are there. We have our contacts by emails, telephone numbers. We are easily reached by any one of those medium.
Okay, excellent. And for those who did not get it, you can also find uh, Raj Singh Insurance in the Who's Who in Guyana Business Directory. I believe they're on page 8 to 5 in the directory. So you can learn more about Raj Singh Insurance and his team of awesome individuals as well. So, Mr. Singh, it was an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. I do trust that you stay safe and that there's some resolution to your return to Guyana as soon as possible. It's what is happening with COVID. So let us just keep trusting that borders will open up, even if it's intermittently sooner rather than later.
Okay, thank you very much, Kian. Great initiative. Continue the great work. To yourself and Action Coach.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's all right.